Okay, we're now recording. I am about to pull up the encoder, and we're going to work through question 41. I've got too many screens pulled up. Y'all bear with me just a minute while I get the encoder pulled up. What's the new password, Maggie? Do you know it off the top of your head?
Yes, it's just pound 16 instead of pound 88. It's a hemo pound 16.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm using dual monitors. I'm about to share my screen, and hopefully y'all can see the encoder. Can you see it, Maggie?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So on the encoder, we've got a male, and the system automatically just has DRG finder, and we're going to leave it at that. He's 53, and I don't know how long he was in the hospital. Just put a couple of days here, and then I'm going to continue. So if you know the patient age and day or sex and age, put it in there. If you don't, I always just go to a female at my age. So, and we know this, let's see, we don't know where the patient went, so I'm just going to assume he goes home. All right, so admitting diagnosis. I always put admitting diagnosis and principal diagnosis the same, just to save me time. Okay, so do you see, I'm just typing the code in directly. Candy. Next code. What is the next code, Maggie?
It is B25.9.
Okay. B25.9 cytomegalovirus. And next?
And the TB, I got A15.7.
Okay. And emphysema?
J43.8.
Okay.
And I didn't get the history of the lung transplant.
Okay, so let's do transplant. And it's transplanted status because he's had it. Lung. There it is. That's it. Lung transplant status. Okay, and then we want to add procedure. So I'm going to go to the right hand of my screen, click add procedure. And give me that code again, Maggie.
It's 0B978ZX.
Okay. I didn't type it right. You said B0. Oh,
No, I said 0 is in front of the B.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say it again. I'm sorry.
It's 0B978ZX.
Okay. I'm going slow today, I'm telling y'all. Had that conference trip from hell last week, and my brain still hadn't caught up. Okay. So we have our codes. We have our 5 diagnoses code, our 1 procedure code all entered. Now I'm going to compute DRG. So to do that, again, you're just going to go to the right hand side of your screen and hit compute. All right, so here's our DRG 975. What is 025, you ask? That's the MDC, the major diagnostic category. There's like, I don't know, I can't remember how many But every DRG falls into MDC. Don't worry about that. Y'all will talk about that in reimbursement. What I'm looking for is just the DRG alone, $975. So you can see with this also the average length of stay for a patient in this DRG category is 6 days. So again, that's what your utilization review department or ladies are going to come around looking at. We got to get this patient out, within that average length of stay. If they need to stay longer, then the doctor's documentation needs to back it up. Reimbursement, $5,000, which they would get more than that because there's some other calculations that go into it. But anyway, you can see how that works. Now let's just real quick, for the sake of doing it, let's just code them with AIDS alone and see how that changed things. And B20. Then I'm going to compute it. Okay, so that changed our DRG completely to 977. Okay, so that's why it's very important to capture your procedures, any complications and comorbidities. A big one, guys, is like dehydration. If that's ever documented, make sure you get that in there because that's a big complication. Diabetes is another one. There's a whole list of complications and comorbidities if you're curious, and I guarantee if you're working for a hospital doing inpatient coding, you're going to get real familiar with that list of complications and comorbidities. Okay.
Okay, and Sarah, on this one, now we have to code the present on admission. Okay, so everything will be present on admission because he has HIV and TB.
Okay.
And the heart transplant was already there.
Are any of these exempt from POA?
Oh.
No?
I don't know.
Okay. I need to look into that to see.
Okay.
I know like the transplant is exempt from POA. Okay, and then all the others probably were present. So, and I think...
So
go ahead.
If it's exempt, do you want us to show that on the paper? Like, you know how we put the Y there for yes, it was present? Do you want us to put the E for exempt?
No, don't put anything. Just leave it blank. Leave it blank. Okay. All right. Does that answer the questions on that one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Candy, which one, is there one in particular you want to look at?
I don't even know. My papers are all scattered all over my desk, and I've just been kind of feel like in a tornado with this.
Yeah, my desk looks the same. I feel you. Okay. Y'all, and again, I know it's overwhelming, but we just got to do it one question at a time, one code at a time. So we've got till Friday. So any questions you have, let's start getting them posted. Maggie, is there one you want to look at?
There is, but let me find it because
Okay.
we were working on 40, and there's one that I have not got one code on, period.
Okay.
Let me find
that scares me, but okay. It scares me for me, not for you. It scares me for me.
No, it was scary for me to look through my papers and know that I hadn't even coded one, period.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like it was hard. Too hard to even code. Okay.
Well, okay. It's 425. I did start coding it last night. I lied.
Okay.
but I don't even know if I even started it correctly. You said that there was 7 diagnoses and 2 PCS. I don't have 2 PCS.
Okay, let's look at that.
And I can tell you what I started with,
Okay.
but
Let me look at it real quick. Let me catch up. Because I looked at it yesterday afternoon. I haven't looked at it today. 75-year-old has chronic diarrhea, dehydration, history of herpes. On the right upper extremity, leading to monoparesis, neuralgia. Okay. So, chest x-ray is showing pneumonia in 2 different areas. She's being treated for Levaquin for the pneumonia. She had a colonoscopy. I'm going to highlight that. And biopsy. See if I can get my highlighter to work, y'all. That's what kind of day it's been. Okay, so colonoscopies with biopsies taken the small bowel and the rectosigmoid. So you're probably going to have the 2 procedures are probably coming from the 2 different sites the biopsy was taken. So the whole reason for this lady's admission, what do we think? Why was she admitted?
The dehydration.
Very good. Very, very good. So we're going to code the dehydration first. Okay, that's why she was admitted. Now, what else is coming up? Of course, we've got, um, we're going to go ahead and code the diarrhea because we don't know the cause of the iron deficiency anemia. So let's go ahead and code the diarrhea. You're going to code the anemia. You're going to code the pneumonia. You're going to code the monoplegia and the neuralgia. And then that neuralgia is, let's see, it's that, let me go back to it's post-therapeutic neuralgia, so that's a sequela, okay? So did I name off, how many codes did I name? I'm going to count them in my head again. We've got the diarrhea, the dehydration, the diarrhea, the anemia, the pneumonia, the monoplegia, the neuralgia, and then sequela. So that is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. And then your 2 procedures are the colonoscopies, where they're biopsying it. Okay, but so because they're biopsying it, you're going to start with excision because they did take out those biopsies. I make it sound so easy, don't I?
okay. All right. We've got dehydration, diarrhea,
Mm-hmm.
chronic diarrhea. I got both of those.
Okay, good.
Anemia, pneumonia, monophyresis, neuralgia, and what was the 7th one?
The last one is the sequela because let's look at the code. If you've got your coding book, let's see. The code, oh, sorry, I'm going back and forth with my books and my computer. Hang on. Let's look at code B02.29. Katrina, can I borrow your coding book? If you've got a coding book, look at B02.29 or pull it up on the encoder if that's what you're using. Well, never mind. I thought that might tell us something about that sequela. Hang on. Oh, it's that history of the herpes leading to the um, monoplegia. I bet. Hang on. I'm going to look under sequela. Okay, when you look, that's what it's for. It's that history of the herpes that led, because whenever you have late effects, you've got to code what the residual is, what's going on right now, which is the monoplegia, and then it's a late effect of the herpes. All right, so you're going to go under sequela because they changed it. We don't look under late effect anymore. We look under sequela. And then they're not going to have one specific for herpes. It's just going to be for infectious disease. Okay. So again, let me repeat what I just did. Because it's documented that the patient, now my pages are turning on me, the patient has or had a history of herpes that led to the monoparalysis. We code the monoparalysis as because it exists now, and then we have to code it was a late effect, or in other words called sequela now, of the herpes. So we look up the term monoparesis, get that code, and then you look under sequela. And because there's nothing for herpes under sequela, you're just going to code it as infection or infectious disease. That makes sense? Do I need to repeat any of that? Maybe, kind of, sort of, no, yes.
Yeah, I looked it up and it makes sense to me.
Okay. So again, all your codes we've got, I'll just say it again for people who listen to this later on. Dehydration, chronic diarrhea, anemia, pneumonia, the monoplegia, the neuralgia, and then the sequela of the infection from the herpes. That's your 7 diagnoses, and then your 2 procedures were the colonoscopies and with the biopsies in 2 different areas. Okay. All right, Maggie, is there another one you want to look at?
I don't hear you very good. I don't know if it's on your end or if it's on my end.
Okay, let me turn it up. And probably because I'm moving around, looking at all these books, I don't know. I'll talk louder.
It sounds like an echo or something. I don't know.
Can you hear me better now?
No, it kind of sounded the same.
Well, okay.
Try talk to me. Say something.
I'm talking to you. I'm saying something.
Okay. Yeah. You sound better now.
Okay. I was going to start singing Maggie McGee to you, but I didn't want to scare people, so better not. I'm sure nobody does that to you.
No, I haven't had that done to me all my life.
All right, Candy, if you want, just feel free to interrupt with questions because you weren't really sure. I'm just going to keep calling on Maggie.
Okay. I would like to look at question 4.9.
Okay, great.
We're supposed to have 3 diagnosis codes and 3 procedure codes. And I think I have the 3 diagnosis codes, but I'm only coming up with 2 procedure codes.
Okay, let me look at this. 4.9. Um, okay, so I hate cardiovascular. You've got the arteriosclerotic heart disease and the COPD. The Oh gosh, cabbage, y'all. I broke down in tears coding these in my ICD-10 training course. So let's see. I don't know why I couldn't get this one, the cabbage. I had a hard time with them. You're going to code, of course, the cabbage, the bypass, um, for 2 sites. And then when you code cabbage, tell me what you do have. Let's start there. What 2 codes do you have?
Okay, for my procedure codes, I have the bypass coronary artery for the left internal mammary with autologous venous tissue open approach.
Okay, what code?
That's one.
What?
Okay, the code I have is 0210099.
Okay. I think that second to last digit, you need to look at again.
Okay.
That 9 doesn't need to be a 9.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, so look at that code.
Yeah.
That 9.
And I'll just, it's going to be a Z because it looks like, yeah, it's going to be a Z. I'll just tell you.
Okay, I'll look at that.
And what's the other?
My second procedure I have is 06BQ4ZZ.
Okay, good. Okay, so you got the bypass grafting, it sounds like. Let's see. Almost. Well, you gotta go. There's one more thing. This is why that other book I had you guys purchase, that keto coding procedures, have y'all pulled that one out? It's a little bit,
the little bitty one?
yeah,
Yes.
that little baby book. This is where that one's gonna come in hand, be helpful for you, especially coding for cabbages. Because the first thing you're going to do is code that they bypass 2 sites. That's what you're missing. You've got to code the coronary artery bypass of 2 different sites. But then your next 2 codes were correct, so we're only missing one more thing, which, let me see. Let me read it. Oh, I've got a fan on it. It keeps turning pages on my books. The bypass. Because he was put on bypass. Support. Sorry, y'all. I'm told y'all I'm brain dead. Bear with me. Because he was put on support while they were doing the grafts, the cardiopulmonary bypass for 2 hours. That's right. You've got to code that.
Yeah, when I went to bed last night, that's what I was working on, was looking for that, but I was having trouble remembering how to find that with the time frame too.
Okay, that one, you'll never know to look under this probably unless I just tell you. You're going to look under performance, cardiac, continuous. And it might be in that little book, or it might tell you that. But you're looking under the main term performance.
Okay. So I was headed in the right direction with the 5A1ZZ.
Yes. Yeah, you were doing good. And I'm telling y'all right now, these are the hardest things to code. So considering you got 2 almost right, I'd pat myself on the back. I really would. I seriously, I remember that. I'll never forget it like it was yesterday. It was probably about 6 years ago. I flew out. I was there in Albuquerque taking this class, and I went to my room and just bawled. I'll never get this because I could not curl these cabbages. So,
Yeah, and that's what I sit at the table, and I'm just like, I don't know how there's no way I can do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I can't figure this out. I'm going crazy. And my husband's like, you've come this far. You've got this. Settle down.
and let me tell y'all, I hate being the teacher of the hardest class you take because it makes them not like me. But anyway,
No, it
we
just
just
makes
got to
me
get through it.
question what I'm doing.
Oh,
I'm like,
trust me.
oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And in coding, unfortunately, you kind of, good Lord, you're always going to text it. My phone's going nuts
Okay,
now.
I have a question.
Okay.
'Cause I got lost there somewhere. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I have the heart disease of native coronary artery without angina. That's what I have as my admit diagnosis and my principal diagnosis.
Okay.
Is that even right?
Yeah,
And
it's
then my
the, yes,
secondary,
yes. The
okay,
principle, yes, it's your heart disease with unstable angina. That's what you said, right?
with angina pectoris.
Okay.
Now, can I just tell you what code I got?
Yeah, go ahead.
I-25.10.
Dot 110.
Yeah. Dot 10.
Yes. No, 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 no.
Okay.
No, 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 no.
Oh,
I-25.110.
oh, 110.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that just changes the whole thing.
Yes. And I think when I graded that last assignment, it must be something with that ASHD code. A lot of people missed that code on one of them. So go back and look at that.
Oh,
It's I-20. I think a lot
okay.
of people just put I-25.10 when it was I-25.110.
Okay. All right. And then I got chronic obstructive pulmonary disease unspecified.
Okay. COPD.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and those are the only two codes I got. Now, I got two principal procedure codes,
Okay.
which was the bypass coronary artery, 3 sites from left internal memory, open approach.
Okay, wait. Let's back up. Okay, so we got the I-25.110 as your
Yes, ma'am.
principal. What
Uh-huh.
code did you get for COPD?
J44.9.
Okay. Now, what are we missing? So that's two codes. What are we missing? Let's go look at our documentation.
Oh, well,
Look at the last sentence. Post-operatively, what happened?
oh, they had pulmonary artery embolism.
Yeah,
Embolus.
yeah, or embolism. That's
Oh,
correct. Yeah, that's what we're missing is the
okay,
embolus.
okay, okay. All right. Now the procedures, but I only got, she said we had 3 diagnoses and 3 procedures, correct?
No, 3 diagnoses, 4 procedures.
Oh, wow. So
Yes.
I only have 2.
Okay. Again, I hate these, and it's hard. So let me just tell you what you're going to code here. You've got the cabbage, okay? The first thing you're going to code is the bypass of the 2 sites, okay? Because they're
Okay.
bypassing 2 different sites. Then you've got to code the excision of the vein, because they take the greater venous vein, the left greater venous vein. You've got to code that. And then you got to code bypass of the artery. We sound like a bunch of hicks talking about this. We got to go. You get to code the bypass of the artery. That's your third code. And then the fourth code was being on the bypass machine, because they stop your heart and lungs and put them on a machine when they're doing this, or at least
Okay,
your
so that
heart.
would be, would that be the performance of
Yes,
cardiac output?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
and I got 5A, 1, H221Z on that.
Awesome. How did you know to look under
Okay,
performance? Tell me that.
it was not easy.
Okay, I'm impressed.
So this this question, I have got question marks. You wouldn't believe the mess that this looks like. This
I
question.
believe it.
I would go to one thing and then it would tell me, I would say, on this question, I used the encoder at my practicum site,
Uh-huh.
and that encoder is just unreal.
Had you all over the place.
It's like looking in a book, though. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you code it on the right side, it'll tell you everything. So everything I had written down, it would tell me you can't use that because of, so I was marking things, writing others. So this one looks like a mess.
Yes, yeah. These are boogers. I hate bypass grafts. I would never, ever work for, oh, I don't know, I say that, a cardiovascular surgeon, but then I guess you would get used to using the same codes over and over again. So, anyway. But yeah,
Yeah, you would get used to it after a while.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, these are a booger. Cabbage is a booger.
Thank you, Candy, for asking that question.
Yeah, that was a good one.
You're very welcome.
All right. What else? Maggie, you got another one?
Oh, I'm sure I have lots. Let's see.
We're going to go till 3 just because I've got another meeting at 3. And then y'all just post them in the board. I'm going to be here all week. I promise I'll answer them.
Okay. Let me find one right quick that's not so long. Oh, okay. This might be a good one. 4.69. I have a big old question mark.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, 4.69. What is this? Nervous system, my second favorite after heart. We got a 32-year-old patient undergoing EEG for epilepsy to see if she can have epilepsy surgery. She's monitored for 3 days, and her meds were adjusted. The rest of the hospital stay was uneventful. What codes are assigned? So, what do we think? What was her admission for?
I got, I don't even know what this code is. I hadn't even pulled it up, but
Okay.
I got G40.909.
Okay, you're close. And this one's a lot easier. I think we're overthinking it. All you're going to code here is epilepsy and then the EEG, the monitoring. Okay, that's all you're going to code. One diagnosis, one procedure. So you're going to look under epilepsy and just look at your subterms carefully because it's refractory, complex, partial epilepsy. So make sure you're coding epilepsy partial, complex partial. Okay. And then for your procedure, we're going to try to find the EEG monitoring. So maybe look under monitoring, something monitoring of the nervous system, and I bet you find it. Okay. So again, for number 69, you're coding epilepsy and its complex partial seizures. And then for the procedure, you're coding the EEG monitoring. So just look under monitoring of the nervous system or central nervous system. And you'll get the 2 codes needed. All right, Candy, did you have another one you want to look at?
No, ma'am, I'm just sitting here laughing to myself because you made that just too easy.
Oh, I know. It's so easy to, and I know a lot of y'all are, I mean, The ones who are left in my class, I know y'all are all good students and you're all just overthinking it. Because I do the same thing. I do it too. We all do it. The coding, you just overthink it.
On question 4.77, can you tell me how many procedures and how many diagnosis codes we need on that?
I can.
Please, ma'am.
Yes, let's see. You're gonna need 3 diagnoses, no procedures. So this is a baby code. Let's just look at it. So
Okay,
go
I'll
ahead.
tell you what DOG I got.
No, I want to know what you're coding.
I got 3 codes.
Do you? Then you probably got it. You probably got it.
I do have 3 codes. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. Remember when
I'm
you're coding newborns, just like coding pregnancy, I'd always glance back at those guidelines to make sure, because there's always more codes needed on these. You've got to code the baby being born first. Where was the baby born? On this one, you're going to code the fetal alcohol syndrome. And what else? Probably something about the vaccinations being not refused by the parent. So the baby being born, the fetal alcohol syndrome, and the vaccinations being refused. Okay?
And that's what I got.
Good, good. I didn't want you to just pop off of that DRG because you know somebody's going to go listen later and not even look at the question. That's why I stopped you. That's the only reason.
That's fine. That's fine.
So,
That's all good.
okay. Okay, ladies, hang in there. We're almost done. Y'all are doing good. Just hang in there. We're almost done. We'll work through this. It'll take me a while to get this recording uploaded just because we've been on an hour and it takes a while to format it and get it uploaded, but I'll get it up there. I'm glad y'all came. Yes, go ahead.
Can I have one more, please?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me how many diagnosis and how many procedure codes are on 4.97? I got them. I got a batch on there. I just don't know for sure how many.
Okay, I'll tell you. And on the red, there's others. Just go post it, and I'll tell you. Let's see. On 97, this is a booger. Let's see. 2. Don't you like me saying that? That scares you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's 5 diagnoses and 2 procedures. It's all
Okay,
those external causes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've already got all those.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Good deal.
All right, awesome. Pat yourselves on the back. You're doing good. You really are. So.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, yeah. All right, ladies, I will get this uploaded. Thank y'all, and keep those questions coming. We've got till Friday to get it done.